Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn, so please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I am your host today, Peter, with my co-host,
Jackie.
and
Ryan Gosling.
Father Yodeler.
And today we are continuing on our quest to read these Star Wars Choose Your Own Adventure books, because it is Star Wars month, because it's more than one day. It's a week. They've got a week now, pretty much. In the parks, it's a month now. They celebrate
Anything to sell merchandise.
That's it.
Yeah.
But we're continuing on because last year we sang.
We had a musical
we had a
episode?
musical episode.
Oh, I am
And then-
so sorry.
And then we got flagged from Spotify.
Sorry, guys. You'll never hear it.
Spotify.
It's like when that
flagged us,
70s show did a musical one, you're like, oh, please, don't do that again.
Yes.
Right.
Please.
No, we read the Star Wars: A New Hope, Choose Your Own Adventure story, which was fun. And so we're just going to continue on this year. We're going to read The Empire Strikes Back. For those that don't listen to the last one or even know what these books are, this was written by Christopher Golden, and it just follows the plot line of the movies, but they add a new character, and that's you. You are a separate character. You're not playing Luke, Han, Leia, or you are you. And you are allowed to make choices that have consequences throughout the story. You could end up changing the entire story arc. You can end up joining Darth Vader. You can ending up in Carbonite yourself. You know, like however, there's a lot of different.
You can chop off
endings.
your own hand.
You can, you can leave Luke to get eaten by the Wampa. You know, you
can
choose.
hang out with Ryan Gosling.
No, gosh.
Man, we were really shoehorning this, right? For those who are a little confused about Ryan Gosling, this is our second attempt to record this episode, and there was a lot of Ryan Gosling jokes. So let's move on.
Can we skip to page 53?
Yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna skip the first page just because it's all exposition.
He's
of
like,
New Hope.
we beat the Empire,
Yeah.
and we did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty
rah!
much it.
It's
Okay.
cold here on Hoth. I
Yeah.
just caught you up. I saved you 5 minutes.
Yep, there we go. So we're going to continue on. So, however, the war against the evil is far from over. The Rebel Alliance had to abandon its secret base despite its victory with the Imperial Starfleet. Starfleet followed the Millennium Falcon to Yavin 4.
Was it really secret when there was a Death Star pointing its laser at it?
Well, it wasn't secret anymore.
There was
That's why they had to abandon.
Because the Millennium Falcon led them to it. And launched an offensive that the Rebel fleet could not hope to win. You are now a member of Rogue Squadron, a division of X-Wing fighter pilots hidden at a secret base on the ice planet Hoth.
Didn't
Luke-
my movie get canceled? Rogue Squadron?
Yeah, that it did. Yep.
They were trying to base it off the books. There was like 9 of them back
Yeah.
in the Legends. They were really big.
Luke is the squadron leader. Man, Luke got big promotion. I didn't
What
think
happened
he
to-
was the
what happened to
leader.
Rex?
Not Rex. Wedge.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, he was the leader. All right. Luke and the other rebel leaders have realized that the Empire will be searching for you all. As part of the setup for Hoth security, sensors must be hidden all around the rebel base. Along with Luke and Han Solo, you volunteered to plant these sensors. You are standing in the hangar bay next to Luke when Han Solo saunters over, interrupts your thoughts. Let's go, folks. He says, it's a little early, but we've got a lot of sensors to place today. I'll get the Tauntaun saddled, you say. Great, Han cries sarcastically.
Is Princess Leia speaking?
No,
It's Han Solo.
I know, right?
I couldn't quite tell.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's probably closer to.
I wasn't sure. I just wanted to clarify the voices.
We can all work on our suntans. Don't forget the heavy-duty underwear, kids.
What?
You know, having nice warm underwear is very
That's
helpful.
something they don't talk about in the movie that's quite important, I think.
Well, if you ask Carrie Fisher, she says there is no underwear in space. That's what George Lucas told her
Oh, okay.
Oh, yikes. That's
when filming A New Hope. She's like, "Can I wear a bra?" And he's like, "There's no underwear in space."
He's like, I'm not even wearing underwear right now. And they're like, I won't ask that question ever again.
This is disturbing.
All right. Outside the base, the three of you ride tauntauns. Leatherly skinned animals well suited to the cold of Hoth. During the day, at least, at night, Hoth's surface isn't fit for any living thing, except perhaps the horrible Wampa ice creatures. You, Luke, and Han split up and spend several hours planting sensors. After a while, you regroup to check on each other's progress. Have either of you picked up any life readings so far, Luke? Oh, I didn't. Have either of you picked up any life readings
Who's
so
talking?
far?
Whose voice
Luke
is it? That's
asked.
Luke. Luke's got a whiny
You
voice.
little whiny
Well,
boy.
nasally. He must have a cold.
Yeah.
It's hot. Okay.
All I'm picking up are saddle sores, you mutter, shifting uncomfortably on top of your tauntaun. I came across a carcass. Looked a couple days old, Han said. You guys love my Han impersonation.
Apparently.
I can only picture Carrie Fisher now.
Probably killed by one of those Wampa. They'll go after anything they can find. Listen, we've placed all our sensors, and I'm cold, and I'm going back to the base. You two coming? I saw a meteor come down not far from here. I want to check it out first. It won't take long, Luke replies.
Nerd.
What about you? Han asked you. So, we going with Luke or Han?
I'm going with Han.
I'm going with Han.
Sure.
It's cold.
All right. We take the easy path
I
here.
want the tan.
All right, go to page 84.
Hans Tauntaun dies. He pulls out his blaster, shoots us, and steals our Tauntaun.
Oh, man, that would be crazy.
Who shot first?
Shot
Okay.
first, yeah.
All right, you return to base with Han. Shortly after you reach it, night falls. Outside, the winds whip ice across the surface of Hoth, and the temperatures have dropped so low that the air is barely breathable. Nothing could survive out there very long. As you change clothes in your quarters, there is a knock at the door. Enter, you call. The door slides open to reveal Princess Leia on the other side. Behind her, C-3PO and R2-D2 stand in the corridor. Princess, you say, have you come to join me for dinner? But even as you ask, you notice Leia looks worried. Have you seen Luke since you came back in? She asked.
The little antebellum.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. She was that little southern belle. That was the one voice I remember doing. No, you reply. We didn't come back together. He wanted to check out some meteorite he saw come down. He's probably with Han. I've been trying to reach Han, but he doesn't answer. I haven't spoken to anyone who's seen Luke since this morning, Leia says with concerns. I have a meeting right now. Could you?
I do declare.
All right. No problem, you say. I'm sure Han is tinkering with the Falcon again. I'll see if he knows where Luke is. We'll accompany you, C-3PO says. You hurry off while the droids hustle to keep up. 3PO is constantly complaining, as always, and R2 beeps angrily at him. Beep, 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 beep! Shut up, you beep, beep, beep! Got some foul-mouthed droids here. Don't you try to blame me, R2. I didn't actually ask you to turn on the heating system. I merely commented that it was freezing in the princess chamber, 3PO says. R2 beeps and twiddles in response.
How does the droid twiddle?
Yeah, tweedles, yeah. I really don't know how we're going to dry out all her clothes, 3PO says sadly. As R2 argues with 3PO, you tune out their conversation. Soon you
So they're on laundry duty?
Yeah.
Boy, you're really trying to pull us in, Christopher.
Well, they do. This conversation does happen in the movie.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does happen.
I don't even remember the
Yeah.
one.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Soon you enter the hangar. Across the bay, you see Chewbacca on top of the Falcon, and Han Solo standing under the ship. You took what apart? Han yells up at Chewie. What are you trying to do? Fine-tuning the hyperdrive now? Look at that mess. Are you crazy? As Chewbacca growls in angry response, you approach Han. He sees you coming up with the droids and spins around and confronts you. Now what? He barks.
Sounds like me when I interact with my kids. Like, what do you need right now? I just changed your diaper. I just gave you water. What's that sound?
Right? Leia has been trying to reach you on your comm link. You tell him. Oh, you tell him. Sorry. I was all like, what? Okay. Sorry, I'm not the best reader, folks. Okay. I turned off the comm link off, he says. I don't want to talk to her anymore. It's bad for my disposition. Well, if you had it on, you say, angry with Han, you'd know that the princess is concerned about Luke. Nobody knows where he is. What do you mean nobody knows where he is? Han says, suddenly serious.
Well, I went home with you. That's why no one knows what happened.
He was only a couple minutes behind us when we rode in. That was more than 2 hours ago. My point exactly, you say. Deck officer! Han yells. Deck officer! The officer rushes over. Yes, sir, Captain Solo? Has Commander Skywalker come back? Han asked sharply. Commander Skywalker hasn't come through the main shield door. It's possible he could have come through the south entrance. The deck officer replies. It's possible, Han yells. It's possible. Oh, it's possible? Han yells. It's possible. Why don't you go and find out? You suggest to the officer. It's already dark and getting colder every minute, Han adds angrily. 54. A few seconds later, the deck officer returns. Sir, Commander Skywalker hasn't come in the south entrance either, he says anxiously. Nobody's heard from him since before you came in. You and Han stare at each other. We have to go after him, you say. Han nods. He turns to the deck officer and asks, Have the techs got those speeders working? The Falcon's in pieces right now. We don't have anything that can fly in a hot blizzard, sir, the officer replies. Those winds would smash you down before you got halfway to... All right, forget it. Tauntauns, you ask? Tauntauns, Han replies. But your tauntaun will freeze before the first marker, the deck officer argues. Even with the insulated suits on, if you end up on foot, you're dead. Maybe, you say, but if we don't go, Luke will definitely die out there all alone. Then I'll see you at home! Alright. A short time later, you and Han ride your tauntauns out of the base into a raging blizzard. Between the snow and the
So this is how Han survived the blizzard.
I was gonna
He
say,
used the lightsaber on us and wore us like a skin.
why
And I ate
didn't we
his
get
liver
an
with a feather big.
option on whether we were going or not? I don't remember volunteering to go.
Wait, I wanted to stay warm. That's why I came back, not to go back later.
Right. Between the snow and the dark, it's hard to see anything. You try to reach out with what little skill of the Force you have learned. After 3 minutes, you can't feel your hands, feet, or face anymore. Every time you cry out Luke's name, your throat feels frozen. Luke, you shout, ignoring the cold. Tauntauns aren't doing too well, Han tells you. He's right. The Tauntauns are wheezing and slowing down in the cold. They won't survive for long. Luke, Han cries. Luke. Then you sense something on your left, to your left. You turn. Dimly you make out a spot in the ice darker than the rest. A spot that doesn't move. Luke, you shout. Both of you and Han jump off your Tauntauns and run to Luke's side. He's delirious, thinking you or Han must have be his old friend Ben Kenobi. Luke, speak to me, kid, Han says. Get him to sit up, you suggest.
He's like, Leia's my girl. Back off.
So cold, Luke mumbles. Warmer now. Want to go to sleep.
The whining really does change Luke's dynamic even more. You're like, yeah, Star Wars is really about Han Solo, not about Luke.
Right?
I guess so.
Warmer, you ask? No, Luke, that means you're freezing. Fight it. Don't go to sleep, Han shouts. Whatever you do, stay awake. Come on, give me a sign, kid. Suddenly, Han's Tauntaun cries out weakly and falls over. What now? Han snaps. We'll never make it back there. The three of us on one Tauntaun.
That's a funny vision.
Right? grab Luke's lightsaber, cut the Tauntaun open, get him in there, and keep him warm until we can set up the emergency shelter. You're not sure Han's plan is going to work, but you also wonder whether you could survive the trek back to the base on foot. So do you go build a shelter with Han, or do you fight with Han?
I'm going to build a shelter.
That sounds like a good
I
idea.
feel like you shouldn't ever fight with Han.
Nah, not a good plan.
You chose wisely.
No, good.
You chose wisely.
What was he gonna do?
I'd seen the movie, so it's help.
Well, I was confused by my diagram there, but I was like,
It's all like, you walk there and you die.
I went to the wrong page. I went to the end page. I went to the other one. All right, page 12. There we go. You stare at Han for a moment, unwilling to cut open the beast. Get to it, Han orders. It's gonna feel disgusting and smell even worse, but it'll keep Luke alive while we set up the emergency shelter. You follow his instructions. Even as you cut open the dead Tauntaun, the other falls over onto the snow. You feel sorry for the beast, but you concentrate on saving Luke's life and make sure you and Han live to see the morning. Together, you and Han set up the emergency shelter and move Luke into it. You climb in after him, hoping your combined body heat and the shelter's own reserves will keep you warm until morning. You are exhausted and drained by exposure to the cold. It isn't long before you drift off to sleep, and you never wake up again. No.
Oh.
You,
It's
No,
like,
I know.
what?
You chose wrong. I told you. No. You wake up in the morning inside the emergency shelter. Your eyes are closed, but you can hear the crackle of comlink static. You also hear the sound of snoring. It's Luke right next to you. You sit up.
He's got a deviated septum.
You sit up, thrilled to realize that you're all alive. Han, you say, shaking Solo awake. Get up. Leave me alone. I haven't slept at all. You're waking me up. Han stretches and yawns and suddenly stops in mid-stretch. He glances over at you, then Luke, then finally laughs. We made it through the night, he cries. Just then, the static crackle of the comlink cuts off and is replaced by the greatest sound you'll ever heard, the voice of your rescuer. Echo Base, this is Rogue 2. The voice belongs to Zev, an X-Wing pilot. You realize he must be flying overhead. Rescue is here, Han picks up the comlink and speaks. Rogue 2, this is Solo, he says. Do you copy? This is Rogue 2, Zev replies in the X-Wing high above. I hear you. Do you copy? Got you loud and clear, Zev, Han replies happily. Good morning. Nice of you to drop by. I've got your homing beacon on my screen, Zev says. Be right with you. You take the comm link from Han and speak into it. Rogue 2, you say, make sure there's a med team standing by. Commander Skywalker needs immediate treatment. A short time later, you're all back at base. Luke is in the med lab, and you and Han, finally warm, walk over to the command center to see Leia. As you enter, you see her huddled over a bank of sensor monitors with General Riken and C-3PO. Everyone looks worried. Leia, what is it? Han asks. Is something wrong? Oh yeah. Sensors just found an unidentified blip, Leia explains. We're trying to pin it down. Why, I don't like the sound of that, you say. We picked up something outside the base in Zone 12, General Riken explains. It's definitely metallic, and it's transmitting something. Pardon me, Princess Leia. Oh, pardon me, Princess Leia. 3PO interrupts. I'm fluent in 6 million forms of communication. This signal is not used by the Rebel Alliance. In fact, I think it's highly probable that it's an Imperial probe. It's an Imperial code. I'm going to go check it out, you say. I'll call in what I find. In the meantime, we should all assume this thing is the enemy. Leia glances at you. You realize that you have spoken out of turn. She is in charge, and you should have waited.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm in charge.
You check in with the med lab and make sure Luke is ready to travel, Leia tells you. Han, do you mind checking this thing out? Han laughs. You're trying to keep me around, Princess, he says. But I'll do it. Strictly self-interest, of course. As long as me and Chewie and the Falcon are stuck here, I want to know what's going on. Take Chewbacca with you, Leia suggests. You gotta have somebody to keep you out of trouble. Finally, she turns to Riken. General, she says, prepare for evacuation. If this is a probe, we're gonna have to get off this planet fast.
You're doing such a good job of that.
All right, let's see.
I swear you must have been a Southern woman in a past life because you're doing such a good job.
I watched a lot of I learned a lot from The Office. You know, you put some molasses on there. All right. It isn't long before Han and Chewbacca report back to say that they have found and destroyed an Imperial probe droid. Immediately, the evacuation begins. Luke, emerging from the healing fluid of the Bacta tank, senses the fear and activity. What is it? He asks. The Imperials have found us, you tell him. That's gonna change things, he says, sighing. Rogue Squadron is going to protect the evacuation ships as they leave the planet, but for now, the majority of our forces are on the ground or in snow speeders. The Imperials are sure to use walkers, you say. No question, Luke agrees. And we don't have to waste time. I'm going to... Oh, okay. And we don't have to waste time to waste. I'm going to take command of Rogue's flying snow speeders. If you want to join me, you can. Otherwise, you could help with the evacuation. Make sure Leia gets off the planet safely. Maybe fly one of the X-Wings and guard the transport ships. 71. Suddenly, in the distance, you hear the sound of battle. Snow speeders fire their blasters. Imperial walkers retaliate with thundering explosions. They're here, Luke says. He looks at you for
Oh, there's no hope.
I know.
There was a new hope, but now there's no hope.
If you go with Luke and fly a snowspeeder, you can buy the rest of the rebellion more time to escape. But if you fly with Rogue Squadron, you will actually be protecting the escaping transports, not to mention Princess Leia, and you may have a better chance of survive the evacuation of Hoth yourself.
I don't think I want to be with whiny Luke.
Yeah,
I want to protect Princess.
But the princess is gonna leave with Hans. What's gonna happen with the ship?
There are no bad choices.
Oh, okay.
Princess.
We're sticking with Southern Belle.
So yeah, if you decide to help with the evacuations, that's what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No snow speeder fight for us. All right. I better help with the evacuation. You tell Luke. Princess Leia is too important to the rebellion, and I feel better knowing she's getting off the planet safely.
She's my girlfriend. She just kissed me.
Luke nods and moves out with the other pilots, who will be flying snow speeders against the Imperial troops that are now landing all over Hoth. Soon the Rebel Command Center comes under attack, but the defensive shields hold up for the moment. You help load supplies and personnel on board the transport. When half the transports are gone and the Imperials' attacks are getting worse, you realize it's time to get Leia out. You find her in the command center, barking orders as though she was born to command.
He wouldn't be saying that if I was a man.
Right?
Men don't bark orders.
Which, of course, she was. Get the wounded aboard the transport, she shouts. Consolidate all remaining units in the central defensive arc. Yes, Your Highness. The command center controller replies. Leia, you say quietly, not wanting to distract her, but knowing it's time to get going. Why aren't you in an X-wing, Lieutenant? She asks. Right. Luke asked me to make sure you got off Hoth safely, you explain. Is he all right? Luke, I mean? Did the snow speeders take the walkers down? Most of the walkers were destroyed. Luke is on his way back to the transport bay. I guess that was Leia. I guess I swapped it. Sorry.
It's okay. Move on.
I know. But I'm not going anywhere. Not yet. Take 3PO if you want. With all due respect, Princess Leia, with all due respect, Princess Leia, C-3PO huffs, Master Luke ordered me to remain with you at all times. We've lost 2 more snow speeders, Princess, the controller repeats. Recall them all, Leia orders. Have the pilots get to their fighters. This is it. Prepare to evacuate. What have you been doing this whole time? Leia, you say more forcefully this time. We have to go now. You're too important to the rebellion to put yourself at any risk. I always thought that was interesting. Why is she so important? Like, it's not like she has a planet or any influence anymore. Like, her planet's gone. I always thought that was interesting.
She barks.
She's got leadership.
She does.
It's hard. That's the hardest thing when you're starting something is to find a capable leader. And like her whole life is all about has been training to be the leader of Alderaan.
People are like, what do we do? What do we do? And Leia's like, this is what we do.
You got farm boys that are all like lieutenants. It's
You
like,
gonna
who's
you
next?
gonna follow Luke, who's whiny, or the barking Southerner?
I think we should go. I'm scared.
I'm cold.
I'm so cold. Yeah.
Suddenly, Han appears behind you. Me and Chewie want to get to the Falcon out right away. But first, we're going to make sure you all get to that transport, aren't we, kid? That's right, Han. You agree. Princess? Leia shakes her head and smiles at Han. You mean you and the Wookiee actually fixed that flying bucket of boats you call a ship?
Jeez.
88.
It hits harder the accent
It
when she
does.
does that.
Yeah.
Insult really. That really stings. She should have said like, "Bless your heart," but that flying bucket of bolts is working.
We need to change that canon. Make the Alderanians, southern.
Southern.
All right. Suddenly, the command center is rocked by Imperial Walker blast. Sparks fly and lights dim. The defensive shields are taking a beating. Princess, the Imperial troopers have entered the base, the controller shouts. All but one of the transports have evacuated. Leia, that's it, Han insists. It's over. We've got to go. For a moment, Leia pauses, then she shakes her head. Controller, give the evacuation code. All troops disengage, then get to the final transport. All of you, she orders. She turns to you and Han. All right, let's go. I'm sorry, the accent.
Oh, was that
changed up.
C-3PO?
I know. The accent slipped there.
There's a little sassy C-3PO.
All right. With C-3PO clanking behind you and Han rush Leia down a corridor. Han has her by the arm, but Leia pulls away. Han, you will kindly stop trying to yank my arm off. I've heard, she snaps. Nice, princess, Han replies. You try and do somebody a favor, and what did it get you? Before Leia can answer, there's a huge explosion as the defensive shields are hit again. The whole tunnel shakes. The ceiling just ahead of you crashes down, blocking your way. Han, Leia, you shout. Are you all right?
No.
We're getting to a choice here. You look around. Everyone seems all right. Well, that's gonna be a problem, Leia says, her sarcasm obvious. They must have hit the power generators, you add. Leia sighs and looks at Han. Looks like I'm with you, flyboy, she says. Han picks up his comlink and contacts the last transport, which is waiting for Leia. Transport, this is Solo, he says. You better take off right away. The south tunnel's collapsed and we can't get to you. I'll get the princess out of here with the Falcon. I copy, Solo, the transport pilot replies. Move fast. You're only one step ahead of the stormtroopers, and good luck. I get nervous when people start wishing me luck, Han grumbles. He turns to you. What about you, kid? I know you probably want to get to your X-Wing, but if you backtrack, you'll probably run into stormtroopers. Want to come with us? So you want to go with Han and Leia, or do you want to get in your X-Wing?
Han and Leia.
Yeah, I want to do a meteorite. Let's ride this Falcon.
Okay, we're on track here. Right, where are we at? 21, 114. Okay, so we're on that one. Okay. We don't. The other one was you get captured by the Empire path.
Whew, dodge that one.
Yep. All right.
We don't go with Luke and learn the Force with Yoda.
You gave that up when you didn't join him in the.
Oh man!
You gave that up
Oh, that would have been fun to hear whininess with Yoda.
with Yoda. Yeah, no Yoda voice. No Yoda voice. You guys miss out.
Chose wrong, you did.
I'd be crazy to go back to my ship. Let's go. The tunnel shakes again, hit by more fire from the Imperials. Along with Leia, Han, and 3PO, you hurry back to the repair bay. Chewbacca already has the Millennium Falcon's engines running. You all run up the ramp just as stormtroopers break in. Hey, kid, blast those guys, will ya? Han calls you down.
Pew 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 pew. Ow.
You whip out your blaster and fire at the stormtroopers. Suddenly, Darth Vader appears in the open doorway. Luckily, the ramp starts to rise beneath you. Seconds later, you are strapped into the freighter's gun seat, firing at Imperial ships as the Falcon blasts out of Hoth's atmosphere.
Really? You're not gonna fire at Darth
Darth
Vader,
Vader?
like
Right.
the most menacing? Like, no. Okay.
Right. C-3PO keeps trying to tell Han something, but Han ignores him, determined to get you all out alive. Under fire from TIE fighters, the 2 Star Destroyers, Han tells everyone to sit tight. It's time for hyperdrive. It's hyperdrive time. But nothing happens. That's what I've been trying to tell you, sir, 3PO says. I noticed earlier that the hyperdrive motivator was damaged. It's impossible to go to light speed. We're in trouble, you say. Big trouble, Leia agrees.
I just want to hear your southern accent.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get lots of Leia.
That's why we're staying with Han and Leia. And the whiny boy now.
No, the whiny
The
boy.
whininess is harder for me to keep up, that's for sure. All right. Now hold on, Han says. I think I've got an idea. While Han pilots the ship, you and Chewbacca try to fix the hyperdrive. A short while later, the ship is slammed several times. You're afraid it's Imperials. But no, the Star Destroyers are still after you, but they haven't caught up. The reality is worse. Han piloted the ship into an asteroid field.
Oh, boy.
Han, what are you doing? Leia cries. The Imperials would have to be crazy to follow us in here, Han declares happily. Another asteroid
He
slams
does
the ship.
declare.
Han, you're crazy, you shout. Trust me, he says. Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is... 3PO begins. Han turns on him angrily and says, what does he say?
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Best line.
It's a great line.
I want to change it. Tell me the odds.
Tell me now, tell me now!
I've made a bad choice.
You shout for Han to watch out. He swerves the ship just in time to avoid an enormous asteroid hundreds of times larger than the Falcon itself. You can see that TIE fighters have begun to follow the ship into the asteroid field, but their pilots aren't as good as Han, and many of them are destroyed. You said you wanted to be around when I made a mistake, Princess. Oh, that was Han. Sorry. You said you
Oh,
wanted.
boy.
So I saw Princess, and Princess said it. You said you wanted to be around when I made a mistake, Princess. Han says, "This could be it." I'll take it back, Han. Leia cries. Several smaller asteroids smash into the ship. I'm going in closer to the big one, Han says, pointing out the largest asteroid yet. Closer, you and Leia shout together. Han flies along the surface of the asteroid. The remaining TIE fighters are destroyed while trying to follow. A moment later, Han spots a cave and decides to land the ship inside it to make repairs. You are all relieved for the moment to be protected from the asteroid. While the others disembark to repair the Falcon, you wait inside with C-3PO. From time to time, the cavern rumbles around the ship.
Rumble, 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 rumble.
All right, here we go. Get into a choice here. Is this a good choice or a bad choice?
Oh, you don't need to tell us.
Okay. Suddenly, you hear fluttering sound on the hull of the ship. On the comlink, you call Han. Hey, Han, what's that noise out there? Minox, kid, Han replies. Big, nasty, slimy pest who'll chew the heck out of the power cables if we don't get them off. Should only take a minute. Outside, Han and Chewie start to fire at the Minox. Their blasts hit walls of the cavern. It starts to quake again, as if in reaction to the blast. Suddenly, you know why. This cave is alive, you shout. If you don't get out of the cave right away, whatever kind of monster you're all inside might just swallow you down. They're tempted to take off now without waiting for the others. Every second counts. So if you wait, if you take off without the others, turn to 115. If you wait for your friends, turn to 93.
You're talking about we're going to abandon Han and Chewie?
Yep.
No, we're not abandoning Han and Chewie.
I was like, what kind of choice is that? Peace out, guys. I'm
You
going to
know-
fly through the asteroid field. The guy that got me in this mess needs to get me out of it.
we're going
All
to be
right.
good Marines.
Yeah, no one gets left behind.
All right, you guys didn't pick the dead end here.
Oh,
We continue on.
We bypassed it.
Yep, you bought yourself more time down the story. All right, yeah, where are we at? We're right there. Yeah, so far we're on the longest path for the story.
You don't need to tell us.
I'm just
We know.
You're on the longest path. All right, 93. Han, Leia, get in here! You scream. Leia was out there too.
That's what I was like. I
You're
think
going to
Leia's
leave
out there.
everybody out? Okay.
Peace, I'm out.
Peace.
So it's just you and the droids at the end. Okay.
All right. You scream.
Do you think R2 would have been? He could have flown the Millennium Falcon.
Well, he wasn't there.
He wasn't in there.
No,
that's
no.
right. He's with Luke. That's right.
So it's just C-3PO.
Yeah, we ain't flying with C-3PO. Ain't flying nothing.
Nope. You fire up the Falcon's engines as Han, Leia, and Chewbacca scramble inside. Chewie roars as he hits the controls to close the ramp. Time to go. Slide over, kid. Han snaps. You move. You're a good pilot, but Han is best there is. Look, the cave entrance, you shout. The open space ahead has begun to grow smaller. We're in some kind of beast, Han explains. If we don't get out of here, it's going to swallow us whole. And I don't want to be dessert. The huge creature's jagged teeth are sweeping down.
I think you're gonna say Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
There's a Jar Jar. Oh, we's not gonna be eaten.
Narrowing your exit. Han turns the ship sideways. You barely slide through the opening before the creature's mouths close. The thing thrusts forward, trying to bite at the escaping Falcon, but it's too late. You've made it. Only you, Solo, could. Only you, Solo, could pick a monster's stomach to park in. Leia says, smiling, as relieved as you are to be still alive. Look, I got us out, didn't I? Han replies, even as he swerves the ship around the asteroids fast enough to make you dizzy. Suddenly, an alarm goes off in the cockpit.
Beep 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 beep.
TIE fighters, Han says angrily. They're waiting for us, and we can't jump to hyperspace in this asteroid field. Han does some fancy flying, and in the moments the Falcon is out of the asteroid field, he and Chewie start prepping the ship for hyperspace. But when Chewie hits the switch, the hyperdrive makes a nasty noise. It just dies. Uh-oh, Han mumbles. Chewbacca roars. Han glances down the ship's scanners. Imperial Star Destroyer coming straight at us, Han says excitedly. And this is good news, you ask? It is when we can jump to hyperspace, Han replies. You're not making any sense, Solo, Leia cries. Sir, I'm afraid you don't understand, C-3PO begins. Somebody switch him off if he opens his mouth again, Han roars. We're only going to get one chance. Chewie, ready the landing claw. Landing claw? You and Leia exclaim. Then Han does the impossible. He actually lands the Falcon on the rear section of the Imperial Star Destroyer's bridge. A short time later, when the destroyer dumps its garbage, Han releases the landing claw and allows the Falcon to float away inside a cloud of trash. This is great, Han, you say, but we still gotta find a safe port to repair the hyperdrive. We're in the anode system, Leia adds. Not much here. Han is quiet for a moment, then he says, Lando, The Lando system? Leia asks. Lando's not a system, Han replies. He's a man. Lando Calrissian.
A real man.
He's a card player, gambler, a scoundrel. You'll like him. Calrissian is apparently an old friend of Han's from when Han won the Millennium Falcon in a card game. He runs a gas mining operation in Cloud City, a huge floating city. It's far away, and it would take some time, but the Falcon could make it there. Can you trust this Calrissian, you ask? Of course not, Han says, but he's our only shot. I'm sure he's forgotten about that. All right. After the long journey to Bespin, you land in Cloud City and walk down the ramp from the Falcon. A door slides open to reveal several armed Cloud City security men and a tall, handsome, dark-skinned man dressed in blue and black with a stylish light blue knee-length cape. Lando, Han calls happily. Solo, Calrissian says. I don't know if I want to do
That
it.
job.
Yeah, Peter. do your Lando voice.
I don't want to go down this route.
Let's
I'm
come
not-
on, do it.
I'm not going to do a voice for Lando.
Why'd you do a Mexican voice for him? Hey, Solo.
Stop.
You dirty scoundrel.
Stop. I don't want to be
Yes, Peter. Peter, do your Lando voice.
It just sounded like Java.
It did sound like Jabba the Hutt.
All right.
Oh, Jabba.
Do your Ryan Gosling voice.
Right, Gosling. There we go. Let's see here. Solo, Calrissian. So it is you. I've got a bad feeling about this, you mutter. Han sushes you. Calrissian stomps towards Han angry. You slimy, double-crossing, no-good swindler.
He's Southern too.
Angry.
You know, these are like, come on, like, these insults are sound very Southern. Like, you slimy, double-crossing, no good. Like,
You can't help it.
You can't help it. It sounds Southern.
No wonder Leia's gonna get along with him.
Right? He snarls at Han. You've got a lot of guts coming to Cloud City after what you pulled. Calrissian takes a swing at Solo, and Han starts to duck. Then Calrissian breaks into a laugh and pulls Han into a big hug. Ha! Calrissian says, "How you doing, you old pirate? It's great to see you. Never thought I'd catch up with you again." Han introduces you, Leia and 3PO, to Calrissian. Lando is very friendly to all of you, but especially Leia.
Stay away from my girl.
Right? Later, on the main level inside Cloud City, Lando discusses business. He is in the city's Baron administrator. And it isn't an easy job. The Empire's power and the rebellion's efforts have led to labor and supply problems. During the conversation, you notice that C-3PO has disappeared. He must have wandered off, you think. Maybe for a cleaning. After all, you realize he hasn't had one since Luke first became his owner.
Jeez, not one? Not even for the award ceremony?
No,
They didn't
no
clean
bath.
there? No bath. Okay.
Stinky 3PO. All right.
Okay.
Only later, after you've all been shown to your quarters, does Chewbacca go out to look for 3PO and comes back with what's left of him. Someone has smashed the droid to pieces. Chewbacca sets about trying to put him back together. Just don't worry. You know, Anakin's nearby. He'll put him back together for you. Right. Just then, Lando arrives and asks everyone to join him in the banquet hall. Sorry, I need some water. Talking a lot. Let's see here. I don't know about I don't know about the rest of you. You say as you head toward the smell of food, but I'm hungry. After that moment, Lando says, "Here's the banquet hall." The others start in, but you hold back a moment. Something doesn't feel right. Then Chewbacca pushes you from behind, and you go inside. Inside the banquet hall stands Darth Vader. By his side is an armored figure who can only be the notorious intergalactic bounty hunter, Boba Fett.
Like a band.
Like a bantha. All right. It's the hard thing with reading these books is like, okay, I gotta get to the right page. All right, ooh, get a choice. Faster than a wink of an eye, Han whips out his blaster and fires 2 shots at Darth Vader.
Pew pew.
But incredibly, Vader raises his hand and deflects the deadly attack just as quickly. Han's blaster is ripped from his hand and flies across the room straight into Vader's grasp. We would be honored if you would join us.
And you had a problem with this kind of punniness in like Rogue One.
Yeah.
He's not
Don't
being
choke
punny.
on your
He's not, he didn't say anything punny.
But he was all like, we
He's
would like.
being a little snarky.
He is being
Sure.
snarky. I
But
think.
he's but he's not.
I
like,
think Darth
he's
Vader
not-
has a sense of humor.
All right.
It's a little dark, but
Vader says, nodding at all of you. Han gives Lando an angry glare. I had no choice, Calrissian says. You stare at him. They arrived right before you did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, friend. Han snaps furiously at Lando. Vader turns his head to look at you. You can feel that he senses your Jedi training, but you know your power could catch him off guard. Should you suddenly attack him with it? That's your choice.
Yes.
That's your choice.
Attack him. Attack him.
no, we're going Elsa style. Conceal, don't fear.
No, attack.
Well, that leads to an instant end scene. For
Yeah,
the-
no.
Yeah,
Attack,
let's kill him off right here. Let's see how he
attack.
dies.
Do you want to see how?
I want to see how he dies. We know how the movie
We
ends.
don't need to follow
let's
the
let's
movie.
let's see this lieutenant take on Darth Vader
Right.
and how it happens.
All right, it's probably suicide, but you have to give your. I love how it's like you read that, and at the very bottom it says the end.
It's probably suicide.
But you have to give your powers a chance. Reaching out into the Force, using it as much as you can, you move swiftly for your lightsaber. It erupts in a line of deadly light as you leap onto the table. In 3 strides.
Oh,
Right?
I have the high ground.
Wearing that shirt.
Boy, that really makes him angry.
In 3 strides, you have reached Darth Vader. Before Leia can even shout for you to stop, you slash at him. He doesn't even have his lightsaber drawn. But the instant your lightsaber reaches Vader, his own saber flashes to life and stops your blade from striking its target. Then you are face to face with Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, the powerful Jedi Knight, enslaved by the dark side.
Boy,
of the
you're looking
Force.
to his eyes. You're like, he is the Dark Lord, the Master of the Sith.
You are against him, 1-on-1. Of course you lose. Stormtroopers are summoned to transport you to the spice mines of Kessel, where you will spend the rest of your days paying for your hasty actions. So you don't die.
No, he don't die.
You just become a slave.
But wouldn't he be like, are you my son?
No, he's not.
He doesn't sense that.
He's not his son. You're not Luke.
Oh,
Yeah, we're just Luke's friend.
gotcha. Luke's friend.
All right, let's go back. All right, so you realize it would be suicide to challenge Vader. Throwing your life away wouldn't help your friends. You surrender along Han, Leia, and Chewbacca. The 4 of you are taken to the cell where you find C-3PO's parts. Chewbacca goes putting the droid back together as best he can. A short time later, stormtroopers come in and drag Han out. You try to stop them, but Leia warns
shoot
you
you
to stay
dead.
back. They have blasters, Lieutenant, she says. After all
Yeah.
this has been taken.
I've got eyeballs, princess.
and they won't hesitate to use them if they have to.
They're stormtroopers. They can't hit anything.
Right.
Don't worry. I've got the Force.
After a time, the stormtroopers drag Han back into the cell. He falls to the floor when they release him. Hone, Leia shouts.
Oh.
What happened, you ask? Chewbacca roars, and even 3PO, only half assembled, clucks with worry. Trust me on this one, Han replies. You don't want to visit Vader's torture chamber. Torture? Leia cries. Han, why would they torture you? There's nothing you could tell them. I don't know, Han says. They never even asked me any questions.
They're just like, I'm bored. Let's just poke at this guy. Don't you want to know anything?
That's true. Like Han does say that in the movie. So they didn't even ask me any questions.
It would have been funny if Leia was like, did they use the little prod thing? That one's the worst.
All right. Let's see here. The door slides open again, this time for Lando and some Cloud City security guards. Well, look what just slithered in, Leia says angrily. Listen to me, all of you. We're short on time, Lando snaps. Get out of here, Lando, Han says. Chewbacca growls in agreement, but Lando won't leave. Shut up and listen, he says. Vader's agreed to turn Leia, the lieutenant, and Chewie over to me. They have to remain here in Cloud City, but at least they'll be safe. What about Han? Leia asked. Vader's given him to that bounty hunter, Boba Fett, Lando explains. Apparently, Han, you still owe Jabba the Hutt a lot of money. Vader's not gonna let us go, you say. He wants us all dead. You're wrong, Lando insists. Vader doesn't care about any of you. He's after somebody named Skywalker. Of course, you agree. It's all a trap for Luke to lead him here.
What? Me?
I know, right? Well, it looks like it worked, Lando says. According to Vader, he's on his way here right now. You fixed this up real good, Lando, Han says angrily. Han, Lando says, I've got a whole city full of people to protect. There was nothing else I could do. Save it, Han shouts. He punches Lando, knocking him down. The guards move to grab Han, but Lando waves them off. Listen, Han, I'm sorry, I couldn't do more. But I've got my own problems, Lando says. The door opens behind Lando and the Cloud City security guards. Several stormtroopers enter. You and your friends are held at blast point and shuffled down the corridor. Lando follows. What's happening, Lando? Han asks. Is it part of your deal? Not at all, Lando says, but there's nothing he can do. You are all brought into the large, dark chamber. In the center of the room is a hole in the floor. I got some chuckling here. You like my mumbling?
No, there's a picture of me on the carousel horse.
Oh, you
I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
All right. Lando, you whisper. What is it? Oh no, Lando says, then mutters to you. It's a carbon freezing chamber. We flash freeze certain products in carbonite to preserve them. Makes them easier to transport. I knew Vader was planning to use it on the Skywalker person, but now it looks like he's gonna that they're gonna test it on Han. No! You shout. Before you can do anything, Darth Vader enters the room with Boba Fett. Lord Vader, Boba Fett says angrily. What if Solo doesn't survive the freezing process? He's no use to me dead. The Empire will compensate you if he dies, Vader replies. Now stand aside, bounty hunter. Guards, put Solo in the chamber. Chewbacca wails and Leia calls out in horror as Han is dragged away and dropped in the carbon freezing chamber. It takes only a moment. Han is pulled out of the chamber, encased in a huge block of carbon. He's frozen solid, but the side panel on the block indicates that Han is still alive. Thank goodness, Leia whispers.
There's no I love you.
No, I love you. No, I love you. See?
I know.
Cut some important parts.
I know. There's some good parts right there. It's like, I know. I love you.
Lord Vader, the stormtrooper says, a single X-Wing fighter is approaching Cloud City now. Okay, here we go. We get a choice. Perfect timing. Perfect timing, Vader replies. I will go and meet Skywalker myself. Reset the chamber so it's ready for him. He will share Solo's fate. Calrissian, the others are yours. Lando and his Cloud City security people begin to escort you back to your chamber along with several stormtroopers. With Vader gone to meet Luke, this could be your best chance to escape. You could try to grab one of the guard's weapons, but perhaps you should consult with Leia before you act. She always has very good ideas.
Just grab it.
Grab
Just
it.
go for it.
Go.
So if you try to escape now, or if you wait so you can make a plan with Leia. So you
No.
want to go now?
Go.
Yes.
We don't need to listen to Leia.
Okay.
I think you do.
All right.
She'll catch on.
It's now or never. You think? Tapping.
Leroy
Yep,
Jenkins.
that's exactly it. We're Leroy Jenkinsing it. Tapping into the force, you focus your mind and imagine a loud bang off to your left. It worked. Everybody looks to see what made that sound. You raise your cuffed hands, and bring them down hard on the back of a stormtrooper. He goes down in a clatter of armor, and his weapon falls close by. The other stormtroopers are turning and lifting their blasters to fire at you, but you ignore them. You concentrate completely on the fallen blaster, willing it to come to you. It does. The blaster flies to your hands. Before the stormtroopers fire a single shot, you start blasting. Chewbacca roars and attacks as well. Help the lieutenant, Lando shouts to his men. A few seconds later, it's over. Lando orders his men to take the stormtroopers prisoner. He takes off your handcuffs, then Leia's, and finally Chewbacca's. Lando, what are you doing? Leia asks. What does it look like? I'm getting us out of here, Lando says. Oh, Administrator Calrissian, I knew you were trustworthy, 3PO says. Not so fast, 3PO, Leia says. Suddenly Chewbacca lunges and begins to choke Lando.
They don't deviate too much in this story.
No.
There's not too much deviation. There was one path where you get captured by Darth Vader and you help capture everyone.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like, join me.
So that choice to either go with Han and Leia or go to your X-Wing. if
I'd
you
want
would do
Darth
the
Maul to
X-Wing.
come out.
There
and,
we go.
and he'd be like,
This is before
join me,
Darth Maul.
apprentice.
Which half?
Yeah, right. The legs.
The legs half, just that half. All right. You don't understand. Lando croaks, barely able to speak. I had no choice. You think we're let's see here. You think we're going to trust you now after what you did to Han? Leia asks angrily. Chewbacca, you're gonna kill him, you shout. Chewie roars in agreement. There's still time, Lando spurs. Han, there's still time to save Han.
Are you going through a tunnel?
Yeah, I know, right?
You're breaking up with the.
Drop him, Chewie, Leia orders. Chewbacca obeys immediately. If you're lying just to save your own skin, Leia begins, but Lando interrupts you. I'm not. They're loading Han into Boba Fett's ship, Slave One. They haven't. The name's still here. Out of the East platform.
Disney didn't go back into your book from the 90s and erase it.
Retcon? Yeah. Lando explains it's still there. Let's move, Leia says. She and Chewbacca pick up blasters. Blasters the stormtroopers have dropped and turn to go back down the hallway. No, you say. Leia turns to stare at you angrily. What? She asks. I'll go, you explain. You and Chewbacca get back to the Falcon. Make sure the hyperdrive is fixed. I'll get Han and be back before you know it. But what about Boba Fett? Leia asks. And the Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
Did you say storm or stone?
I can handle them, you say. You realize that you mean it, and you know you can handle them. You're a Jedi now, at least a Jedi.
Oh boy!
training.
Oh, I'm a Jedi now.
Yeah.
It's a fast track.
You pick up one
didn't-
blaster and you're a
he
Jedi.
didn't
Boy, low standards.
He didn't get shut down by Yoda. He
Yeah,
didn't get that
it
opportunity.
wasn't in front of the council.
It wasn't
like,
like Luke, where he's like, "I am a Jedi." Oh,
it could be worse. It could be like Anakin on the board. It's like, oh yeah, you could be on the council, but you're no master.
All right, you turn down the hallway. Lando calls to you. Here, kid, you're gonna need this, he says. He throws you your lightsaber. I made sure Vader didn't get his hands on this. What about Luke? Leia asks. Trust me on this, princess, you say. I've known Luke my entire life. He can take care of himself. There's nothing we can do for him anyway, except let Vader kill us. I don't think that would help. Leia smiles. Then her face grows gravelly serious again. Bring Han back. You're gone, running off the corridor headed for the East Wing and Boba Fett. I guess we're just abandoning Luke.
He can
Luke can handle it. He's
he
fine.
can handle it.
All right, we get a duel off with Boba Fett. Boba Fett's ship is docked on the platform not far away. It doesn't take you long to get there. As you run onto the platform, you see several stormtroopers pushing the carbonite freezing form of Han Solo in front of them. Hold it, you shout, warning them. It wouldn't be honorable to shoot them in the back. They turn... What? All right. They turn, pulling
I'll
their
shoot the other guys in the back, but you know what? These guys,
they
I
turn,
challenge you to a duel. Come back.
They turn, pulling their blasters, and start to fire at you. Better, okay, never mind. I should have. You take shelter behind a pillar and return fire, taking all 4 stormtroopers down quickly. As you run toward the block of carbonite, Boba Fett stomps down the ramp of his ship, his weapon drawn. Not another step, he shouts. You pull your lightsaber just as Fett fires at you. You block the bolts with it and move closer to Fett. Leave, he says. Solo's mine. There's a lot of money on his head, and I'm not giving it up just because you got some fancy moves with that toy. You're too young to be a Jedi, and even there were any Jedi left.
Boy, he gets a lot more lines in this book.
He does.
Boy, yeah, he's getting more face time.
Well,
Helmet time.
right. There are still Jedi Knights, Bounty Hunter, you say? Ooh. Order 66 survivors here. All right.
Order 66.
All right. The Empire tried to destroy us all, but we have returned. Boba Fett fires again and blocks the blast. He runs towards you, still firing. You dive onto the ground, roll behind the block of carbonite, knowing Han can't be hurt inside. And pop up on
He's
the
like
other
he's using him as his shield. He's like pew pew.
side with your blaster.
Han's just like oh.
With your blaster in one hand and your lightsaber in the other. With your blaster, you hit Fett. He goes down hard. You turn your attention to the carbonite block and switch on the unit that will release Han. Not yet. The carbonite melts. In seconds, Han is lying on the ground, moaning.
As he's been shot.
As if he's waking up from a
It wasn't
nightmare.
hardened yet.
All right.
It was still fresh.
You okay, Han, you ask? I will be, kid, thanks to you, Han replies. As you're helping...
Wow, we just solved the beginning of Return of Jedi
Yeah,
right
we-
there.
We got an alternate path here. As you're helping him up, the Millennium Falcon appears above and lands on the platform next to Han. When the ramp drops, Leia runs out and hugs Han, then helps him back onto the ship. You join them. Soon you are all flying away from Cloud City. What about Luke? Han asks. He's got an X-wing.
You don't need him. You already got a Jedi.
He can handle himself.
You say, not wanting to mention Vader, but Han knows. So if he's still alive, he'll get away on his own. Han says. There was silence on board the ship, but before you can get too far away, you feel a presence, a familiar voice. reaching out to you in the Force. You glance up at Leia.
Do you think his voice is whitey in the Force?
From the look in her eyes, you can see that she feels it too. Luke, the two of you say simultaneously. What? Lando asks, startled. Luke, you say. Han, we've got to go back for him. You've got it, Han says happily. But we don't even know where he's going. Where we're going, Lando argues. We're getting close to the end here.
Well, I think so.
I hope so.
Oh, yep, this is the end.
Wait.
Okay.
All right. I know just where he is, Leia says. He's hanging on to something on the underside of Cloud City. He's in pain, but he's hanging on. Seconds later, you spot Luke hanging upside down from what seems to be a weather vane. You and Lando go topside hatch of the Falcon. As Han holds the ship steady, you lower Luke inside. He's badly injured, even missing a hand, but you've got him. Soon the ship blasts into hyperspace in no time, and you and the others have rejoined the Rebel Alliance. Luke is quickly fitted for a new mechanical hand to replace the one that he lost battling Vader. The battle with the Empire continues, but that's another story. So we got an alternate ending.
Let's say it took us a while to get there.
We
I do like the jumping up on the
On the
table.
table?
Yeah.
He's like, ha, I told you to do it.
A little reckless. Now he thinks he's a Jedi.
We
I
literally,
am a Jedi.
we literally took the longest path. That was literally the
I
longest
felt
path.
it.
Well, who would have thought the longest path is the correct path?
Well, was it? Han, we got Han.
We
Yeah.
did. We saved ourselves a whole trip.
Yeah.
Like, Lando didn't have to go into the pit.
No slave Leia.
No slave Leia. I think we did pretty well for that one. But then we don't know because maybe Jabba sends out more. Jabba the Hutt's still alive, and that means we don't get a Boba Fett,
Yep.
TV show.
That's right. Boba Fett died at Cloud City.
There's no riding a Bantha.
No band.
There's no riding a Rancor through a city.
Nope.
You know what? We may have caused a ripple
Yeah, I think so.
in this universe right here.
Well, yeah, Jabba.
I like a
Jabba.
Jabba juice.
I like a
A Jabba juice.
Yeah,
do we
no,
have a new sponsor?
If you want that orange dream machine, get a Jabba juice.
It's a good.
Miss, I like it, Jabba juice.
Hey, whoopies.
All right, well, that was fun. That was a fun adventure we went on, and we'll get the conclusion of our story next year when we'll do Return of the Jedi.
Do you have the other one?
I do. I
Oh,
bought
yeah.
all three. I bought all three when we did the last one. So this was the only one that I had. Was this one?
That's what I
Was
thought. I
the
thought you had
Empire.
that one growing
Yeah.
up.
Which I lost. I don't know what happened to it, so I bought all three. But yeah, let us know what you think. Again, this is the Star Wars Choose Your Own Adventure, written by Christopher Golden. They're fun reads. There's a lot of fun different endings of ways you can. This one there was a lot of. I think I read some of them. A lot of them ended up you in Kessel being a slave, basically. There was a lot of those. You got caught. You got sent to Kessel, and you're mining spice. Mining for drugs.
Man, the spice part never really hit me part of the universe till
Later,
way later.
till they explain what spice was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to buy a death stick?
But yeah, let us know what you think. Were there some choices that you might have picked differently? Let us know in the comments down below. But until next time, the Force will be with you. Always.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember before your bobsled comes to a complete stop to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.